All right, I think I'm ready to go now. So we're going to be adding polynomials. Here's our first example. We are going to, so when you're adding polynomials, you can only add like terms. So your answer may not just be one number or just one variable. It's going to be, it could be a variety of variables and numbers. But as long as you get everything together so they're not two of the same term, because you want to make sure you combine those to simplify it. So there's two different methods. There is the horizontal or the vertical method. So looking at this first polynomial here in the set of parentheses, I would look at this and I would say that it has a degree of 3 because 3 is the greatest exponent. And since 3 is the greatest exponent, the leading coefficient or the coefficient to that greatest exponent is 6. So 6 would be my leading coefficient, 3 would be my degree. And we would just call this a polynomial because once we get past 3 terms, we just call them polynomials. So that is just some back end information that we have already discussed. But I have this first polynomial, 6x to the third plus 7x squared minus 2x plus 5. And I'm adding it to the second polynomial, x to the third minus 4x squared minus 8x plus 1. So to do this horizontally, the first thing, if you're going to do it horizontal or vertical, the first thing you always want to do is figure out where your like terms are. So we got 6x to the third, and we have this x to the third. Then we have a positive 7x squared and a negative 4x squared. Always take the sign that is in front of the coefficient. Next, we have negative 2x and negative 8x. And last, we have a positive 5 and a positive 1. So if we are going to set this up horizontal, what we're going to do is we're going to write it out so that we combine the like terms. So we're adding those first two terms of x cubed. Then we get the red one. So we have plus 7x squared minus 4x squared. Or you could think of it as plus a negative 4, but I like to just use one sign. Then we have a negative 2x minus 8x. And then we have plus 5 and plus 1. Sorry for running out of space there. So now everything is horizontal and everything is grouped with like terms. You can just go ahead and solve them. So the 6x to the third plus, this is 1x to the third. If it were 0x to the third, then we wouldn't even see the x to the third term. So there is one of them there. So we call that 7. Positive 7x squared minus 4x squared. It's a positive 3x squared. Negative 2 minus 8. So we have negative 10. And it's an x term. And then positive 5 and positive 1, we get positive 6. So that is your horizontal method. Over here, I'm going to do the vertical method. So when you do the vertical method, you want to take the first polynomial and write that out. So the first set of parentheses is 6x to the third plus 7x squared minus 2x plus 5. And below that, I'm going to put the second polynomial. So the second polynomial is, and make sure I line it up with the correct term or the like term. So x to the third, then I have negative 4x squared. Then I have negative 8x, and then I have positive 1. And then I just add those. So starting on the left, 5 plus 1 is 6. negative 2 plus negative 8. Remember, I'm adding all of these. So negative 2 plus negative 8 is negative 10x. This is what you don't want to do here. There's nothing in between the x and 6. When there's nothing in between a number and a variable, that means to multiply. We're not multiplying this. We're simplifying this based off of combining like terms. So use whatever sign you get from combining your like terms. Positive 5 and positive 1 is positive 6. So we're going to say plus 6 here. Positive 7 minus 4 is 3. And the term is x squared. And remember, there's 1x to the third there. So 6 plus 1 is 7. X to the third, I forgot my sign for 3. Positive 7 plus negative 4 is positive 3. And that matches up. It's the exact same thing. It's just two different methods. You get to choose which one you like best, which one you feel comfortable with. All right, so for this one, although the first set is not in parentheses, that is our first polynomial. So we're going to do x to the fourth minus 7x squared plus 3. Then the second polynomial is in parentheses. That's what we're adding to everything before that. So I'm going to use the vertical method, and I'm just going to line everything up. So the 5x to the fourth lines up with x to the fourth. Negative 4x squared will line up here. Negative 8x, there's no 8x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the first one. I'm going to put that plus 3 on the end. And I am going to leave a space here. Normally, we put in 0 for a holder. So like 0x, because there is no x term on the first polynomial. And then the second polynomial, we have the negative 8x. So that's what 0 looks like when it's a coefficient. It means that the x is not even there at all. Versus where we see x to the fourth, the coefficient that is there is a 1. Because x to the fourth exists. So negative 8x, going back to the second polynomial, there is a plus 1 at the end of that. So now I'm ready to add all the like terms. We are adding everything. So 3 plus 1 is a positive 4. And 0 minus 8 is negative 8. And the term is x. Negative 7 minus 4 is negative 11. And the term is x squared. 1 plus 5 is 6. And the term is x to the fourth. This is a 2. So your answer should be D, 6x to the fourth minus 11x squared minus 8x plus 4.